Danica, I've tried to text you at 5 p.m. I've tried to call you at 6:30 p.m. Obviously still haven't heard back. You have our daughter. I want to A, make sure she's safe, and B, want to see her. Obviously, to say the least, very, very blindsided by what happened today. I will say I was told that you blocked my number or something on here, but I was also obviously told to reach out. And obviously want to reach out to know the whereabouts of my daughter and what exactly is going on here. Obviously, I vehemently deny the accusation that I choked you, and I don't know where that came from. But I want to start by trying to explain how I feel about everything first. I mean, obviously we've had our problems throughout, especially I'd say the last 2 years, especially since right before we moved into the rental, throughout, obviously last night. I think for me personally, as I've said several times, well, first of all, obviously we say things that we don't mean when we fight. I think we both know that. And I think the biggest problem for us has been that we've never discussed any issues except when we're both mad. For me, every single fight has literally followed the exact same pattern, which I tell you every time. It starts with you belittling me. It starts with me feeling like I'm never enough financially, as a partner, as a man. And I just have never understood why you feel the need to belittle me for so long, so consistently. Because you knew what I did, you knew what I made, you knew all this. Like, if you were looking for someone who made as much or more than you, I don't know why you chose me or wanted to choose me. But every fight we get in, it would be, I didn't make enough money, I didn't contribute enough, I didn't do enough for you. And obviously over time, resentment kind of builds with that. Do I think you mean it? Honestly, you said it so much that I do deep down think you mean those things. But I could deal with it. But during the time in the rental, you slapped me many times before the rental. You've thrown remotes at me multiple times. You've picked up other items and cocked them back, threatening to throw things at me. You've obviously punched me in the face right before our wedding was supposed to happen. So for me to be accused of choking you when I did not do that, and to have cops telling me how serious domestic violence is honestly appalling to me. Because I did not choke you last night, you know that. And now our daughter is taken away. And I think, for me, I could always deal with the fact that you didn't think I was enough as a person or as a partner. But ever since we got Cassandra, the fact that you question if I'm good enough or question my commitment as a father has just built this resentment every single time that we fight. And you say I don't do enough, that I don't care enough, that I don't do enough for diapers, that I don't pay enough attention to her. It's literally tearing me apart. And the resentment grows every single time you've done this to me. You want to see me broken down? This is how you do it. You take my daughter away from me. The one love that I have known. The one pure love. The one unconditional love. And I have been a great father. And even last night, even when we say things that we don't mean, I told you, you are a good mother. But you never once, even after you've said these things to me, have ever once told me I'm a good father. All you do is belittle me as a father, as a person, and as a partner, as I've said. And And the resentment has grown, especially over the past year as a result. And of course I've said things that I don't mean, and I've hoped that you've said things, including these things, that you don't mean. And recently the resentment has grown so much that when we fight, I do say, I think that it's time. I think that we should end it. I think that we should. This is not the example I want for our daughter, because right now she doesn't know. She doesn't understand words. She doesn't understand the things that I say to you when you make me angry. She doesn't understand the fact that you're belittling me all the time as a father and as a person and as a man. And I've watched some of the things back, and I don't like what I've said either. I don't think either of us like what we say when we're angry. But that's the thing. I've always felt like we've left it alone, which obviously at this point I don't see a way back. Unfortunately, from this point I don't, which is scary when it comes to Cassandra. It's scary on a lot of levels, but it's mostly scary when it comes to Cassandra. It's also scary with Gunnar. But Cassandra is obviously the main focus, I think, for everyone. And when we fought, I've always said, I think the discussion last night was about that you couldn't stand a second without her. And I've always said, if we do break up, split custody. And you've always said you're giving up your daughter if we break up, and that's the difference between us. I'm not trying to take your daughter away from you. And yes, breaking up is not ideal, but the way we've been going for the last 2+ years hasn't been ideal either, and it's taken a toll every single time. But I've never once ever acted on that. I've never once the next day said, hey, I think we do need to break up, or hey, we need to talk about last night, for better or for worse, because we did need to talk about these things years ago after a big fight. And that's the reason they've gotten worse every single time. But I think I've always given you the benefit of the doubt that you didn't mean what you said as far as taking our daughter away from me, but today's actions have shown me that you do feel that way, and I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt and understand that you don't want to go a second without her. So you're trying to jump the gun here and accuse me of something to try to make a case for full custody. But which will take her away from me and rob her of her father, who loves her very much, as you know. Neither of us want to lose her, and that's why I've always kept things inside. As I say, the resentment for me has grown every single time for the past year, when you have accused me of not being there for my daughter when all I do is take care of her. All I do is love her. And not once have I heard anything positive about being a great dad. Even when I was angry last night, I told you, you're a good mom. You are a good mom. I can even see that now. But what you're doing to me and what you're doing to her unintentionally, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. What your end goal here seems to be is to rob her of me as a father. I love our daughter, you know that. And I can't believe you would do this. I actually can't. I've actually thought you were capable of it, but I've never thought you would. You're the one who's hit me many times. You're the one who has thrown things at me. You're the one who has laid hands on me. I have never done that to you. The most I've ever done is push you away when you grab me nonstop. Every single time we get in a fight, I try to de-escalate. I try to go in another room. I try to give space, try to calm down, and you always push the envelope. You always push, belittle me. Don't give me space. Grab me. Take my phone. And then for people to come to my door now and accuse me of doing something I didn't do, and to know you're doing it to try to take my daughter away from me. I want to know where Cassandra is. I love my daughter. I always pushed forward because even though things weren't perfect, I wanted a family for all of us. I grew up with a family that wasn't perfect, but I appreciate the fact that they stuck together for the kids. And I wish we could have fixed our issues. I don't know if they are fixable, but I wish we would have at least tried. I don't know if we're at a place where that's what either of us wants now. I have cops telling me to put cameras all throughout the house now and record everything. What kind of relationship is that? I mean, the trust was already very low with me because you would whip out your camera every single time you belittled me and try to make me the bad guy. It always felt like you were setting up evidence for something like this. But deep down, I hope you know that I love her. And deep down, I hope you know that this isn't what's best for her. I've always said when I was angry and not meant it, but realized at the same time that it's a real possibility us breaking up because of the way things are heading and because of the resentment that's building within me. I've always felt like this home didn't belong to me. Nothing belonged to me. I'm just living here. The one thing that I felt like belonged to me was Cassandra. And now you're trying to take that away from me too. This home I'm always told I don't pay for, I don't contribute for, I don't make enough for, I can't afford. You literally tell me I can't afford a house, so I shouldn't get Cassandra because she doesn't deserve an apartment. You just constantly belittle me. But the one thing that I felt I deserved, and I do deserve, is my daughter. And as I say, I always gave you the benefit of the doubt that you wouldn't do this. I will fight for my daughter. I hope that we can at least discuss things, and I don't see a way back at this point. It's very hard to see one, obviously. I don't think that's what you want by taking these steps, and I don't know that that's what I want by taking these steps. And what lies ahead is scary, especially for me, especially since you just vanish with my daughter and don't tell me where she is. She has medicine here that she's supposed to take today. Obviously, I am hopeful that the infection is gone and that she hopefully doesn't need it, but obviously she is instructed to take it. So it's concerning to me that you wouldn't have her take it as she should be. But moreover, I just want to see my daughter and make sure she's okay. Hopefully you've gotten the medicine for her to take wherever you are. Please just respond to me, and let's find a way to do this together, whatever this ahead is. We need to be on the same page with this. Last night you told me how much you didn't want lawyers and you didn't want to split and how much you didn't want to do this and that, and it all seems very disingenuous right now. We both love Cassandra, and she needs both of us in our lives. Please respond. Please let me know she's safe, and please let me see my daughter.